A Dalton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now
Dalton, a small town in Illinois, once had high hopes for stability and progress under the leadership of Mayor Tiffany Henyard. However, what was envisioned as a new era of steady governance has instead spiraled into a storm of controversy, fueled largely by Henyard's decisions and actions. Her tenure has been marked by numerous scandals, each one more alarming than the last, with many residents and critics claiming that her leadership has been defined more by dysfunction and corruption than by effective governance. One of the most glaring controversies surrounding her administration is her appointment of a police chief who, shockingly, lacked the legal qualifications to even serve as a police officer. This incident highlights the growing sense of crisis in Dalton as the town grapples with financial mismanagement, political favoritism, and questions about Henyard's ability to lead. At the heart of the controversy is the appointment of Ronald Burge as Dalton's police chief. Burge, a controversial figure in his own right, was handpicked by Mayor Henyard to lead the police department. However, it was soon revealed that Burge did not meet the state's basic legal qualifications to serve as a police officer, let alone head the police force. The Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board (ILETSB) deemed him inactive, meaning he had not completed the required training, certifications, or paperwork to legally carry a badge or firearm. This shocking revelation raised serious questions about Henyard's judgment, as well as the future of public safety in Dalton. Despite the uproar, Henyard has remained steadfast in her support for Burge, dismissing the growing criticism as politically motivated attacks designed to undermine her leadership. She has refused to back down, even as local leaders and residents express their concern over the implications of this decision. The appointment of an unqualified police chief is not only a blow to the town's already fragile public safety infrastructure, but it also reflects a deeper issue within Henyard's administration. A pattern of disregarding governance protocols and making decisions based on political loyalty rather than merit. The Burge appointment is just one example of the broader dysfunction that has come to define Henyard's leadership. From the moment she assumed office, the mayor has been accused of corruption, financial mismanagement, and political favoritism. Her detractors argue that her leadership has been less about serving the needs of the community and more about consolidating power at any cost. Allegations have surfaced that Henyard has misused taxpayer funds, using public resources for personal gain, and making appointments that prioritize loyalty over competence or legality. Henyard's administration has been plagued by public disputes, with her combative leadership style contributing to further polarization within the community. Rather than focusing on Dalton's most pressing needs, such as stabilizing the economy, improving public safety, and repairing strained relations between the government and residents, Henyard's time in office has been marked by scandal after scandal after scandal. Critics have accused her of using public office as a vehicle for self-enrichment, citing lavish expenditures and questionable policies that only seem to benefit her personally. As the town continues to struggle with rising crime rates, crumbling infrastructure, and a lack of resources, Henyard's focus on consolidating political power rather than addressing the town's needs has only fueled frustration among residents. Many feel that their concerns are being ignored, while the mayor and her supporters engage in political battles that offer little in the way of tangible solutions for the community. Despite the growing chorus of criticism, Henyard's supporters maintain that she is the victim of a smear campaign. They argue that as the first female mayor of Dalton, she is facing opposition from political insiders who are unwilling to accept a shift in the town's power dynamics. This narrative of victimhood has resonated with some of her most loyal backers, who believe that Henyard's leadership is being scrutinized far more harshly than that of her predecessors. They claim that the controversies surrounding her are the result of political motivations, rather than genuine concerns about her qualifications or actions. However, despite the fervent defense of her supporters, this narrative has failed to convince many residents. The mounting scandals, combined with the increasing dysfunction of her administration, have left many questioning her ability to lead. The public perception of Henyard's leadership has been deeply tarnished, and her combative approach has only served to deepen the divisions within Dalton. For many, it seems unlikely that reconciliation or progress can be achieved under her leadership. As if the political controversies weren't enough, the involvement of outside agencies such as the FBI and the Illinois Attorney General's office has further complicated Henyard's situation. Rumors of financial improprieties, abuse of power, and misuse of taxpayer money have sparked investigations into her administration. Although Henyard continues to deny any wrongdoing, the growing number of allegations against her raises the specter of significant legal consequences if any evidence of misconduct is uncovered. The stakes are incredibly high for both Henyard and Dalton. For a town with a population of just 20,000, the fallout from these scandals could be devastating. If any of the allegations are proven true, the consequences for Henyard could be severe, not just in terms of legal repercussions, but in terms of the damage done to the town's already fragile reputation. As Dalton continues to face economic struggles and social unrest, the future of the town seems increasingly uncertain. In the midst of this turmoil, Henyard and the Dalton Board of Trustees held a rare public meeting to address the growing concerns surrounding Burge's appointment. The meeting, however, did little to ease tensions. Despite the mounting pressure, Henyard remained unwavering in her support for Burge, even as it became clear that he was not legally qualified to serve as police chief. This only served to heighten concerns among the board members and residents, who questioned Henyard's ability to make sound decisions. As the controversy continued to unfold, Burge's legal troubles deepened. It was revealed that he had failed to pass the necessary requalification exams, which meant that he was legally barred from carrying a firearm. This discovery further exposed the serious flaws in Henyard's decision-making process and raised additional questions about her leadership. Some residents began to wonder whether Henyard's loyalty to Burge was more about consolidating power than about serving the needs of the town. The opposition to Burge's appointment reached a boiling point when the village board of trustees took the matter to court, seeking to block the appointment. The court issued a temporary restraining order, preventing Burge from assuming the role of police chief without the board's approval. This legal setback appeared to be a victory for those opposed to Henyard's decision, but the mayor was not ready to back down. Determined to push her agenda, Henyard continued to challenge the board, leading to a chaotic and contentious village board meeting. Ultimately, the court ruled that Burge could serve as interim police chief for 30 days while the mayor and the board worked to find a permanent replacement. This decision was a temporary victory for Henyard, but it did little to resolve the deeper issues surrounding her leadership. Days after the court's ruling, the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board delivered another bombshell. Burge was not legally qualified to serve as a police officer, let alone lead a police department. The revelation that he had not completed the required training and had failed the requalification exam only deepened the crisis facing Henyard's administration. Critics accused her of prioritizing political loyalty over the needs of the town, and many residents began to question her ability to make competent decisions. Henyard's continued defiance in the face of mounting criticism only fueled the perception that she was out of touch with the needs of Dalton. As the controversy surrounding Burge's appointment continued to unfold, it became clear that the problems facing Dalton were far more significant than just a bad decision about the police chief. The town's financial instability, strained public services, and rising crime rates were all symptoms of a deeper crisis within the local government. As the fallout from the Burge controversy continues, questions about Henyard's leadership and the future of Dalton remain unanswered. The town is left grappling with uncertainty and frustration as residents wonder whether the mayor can salvage her administration and deliver on the promises she made when she first took office. Meanwhile, the pressure on Henyard to explain her actions and rebuild her credibility continues to grow. The stakes have never been higher for Henyard and the town of Dalton. The controversies surrounding her administration have not only tarnished her reputation but have also cast a long shadow over the future of the town. Whether this latest chapter in the Henyard saga will lead to lasting change or simply deepen the divisions within Dalton remains to be seen. For now, Dalton is a town in crisis, uncertain of the path ahead.
Word one, it says 100%, 100% one, 100% two. I mean, that could be a lot of different things. What's the administrative cost? When's it going to start? When's it going to, just...
The appointment of Ronald Burge as police chief in Dalton, Illinois, serves as a striking example of how political decisions can quickly spiral into controversy and public outrage. Burge, who was entrusted with overseeing law enforcement in the town, a position that involves carrying a firearm and managing police operations, was later revealed to be legally unqualified for the role. In fact, Burge had failed to meet the necessary qualifications to carry a weapon or serve as a law enforcement officer. This revelation came to light after it was discovered that he had not maintained the required training or certification under Illinois law, leaving him legally barred from holding the position of police chief. Despite the gravity of this issue, Mayor Tiffany Henyard has remained unwavering in her decision to appoint Burge, a stance that has raised serious concerns among residents. The glaring contradiction of allowing someone so clearly unqualified to remain in such an important role has led many in the community to question why Henyard is so determined to keep him in place. The answer to this question is multifaceted and, for some, deeply troubling. Critics have long pointed to a recurring pattern in Henyard's decision-making when it comes to appointing key officials. There is a growing sense in the community that her choices are not based on qualifications or merit but rather on loyalty. One resident, expressing frustration, went so far as to compare Henyard's recruitment style to that of a mob boss. Though harsh, this comparison reflects a prevailing sentiment among many in Dalton that the mayor's appointments often prioritize political loyalty over competence, further exacerbating the already strained relationship between the town's government and its residents.